Hi, this is Reverend Rob and my beautiful co-host, Lisa Bensusan. Hey, Lisa, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing, Rob?
I am awesome. And so today we're going to start our new day. And let's tell people we're going to be talking affirmations. So you need to stick around and make sure that you're understanding this isn't just another affirmation show. Come find out. We're going to do something different and tell you why these are so important. So, Miss Lisa, do you have an affirmation that you want to start us off with today?
I want to start with three affirmations today. I believe I'm always divinely guided. I believe I always take the right turn on the road. And I believe that God, the universe, will always make a way when there is no way.
That's
Ooh, and I just got chills. Ooh,
that's awesome. So that's basically three affirmations into one that would become like a mantra that we could
right.
use.
Exactly.
Okay. We said we were going to tell people the importance of affirmations and why it's so important. Before we to start dissecting this affirmation, why do you think saying an affirmation or having an affirmation is so important?
Well, I think that the first thing is it gets your mindset to focus on what you should be focusing on. And that is so important. And when you say the affirmation and you actually believe it and repeat it to yourself, it's amazing what happens. Like the first one, I believe I'm always divinely guided. And how beautiful is that? And I know that I'm divinely guided by divine timing with everything. And it makes you just realize the perspective that you need to be looking at. Instead of looking what you don't have, you're looking at what you do have, and you're guided by faith in the universe and God. So, what a beautiful thing to have on your side.
Absolutely. And I want people to understand it is important to vocalize this. Don't just read it, don't
Right.
mumble it. You really need to, for an affirmation to work, there is actually scientific evidence and reasons to do it out loud and be vocal about it. I believe I am always divinely guided. Read it like you're trying to teach a child or you're learning something new. Put some emphasis into it because the first thing that happens, this is a portion of what we talk about of being mindful and being present. I believe I am always divinely guided. You have now made your brain think of this, but by you've also turned it into an action, okay, where you have had to speak it. Your breath comes from it. Now, also, once it comes out of your mouth, you're forcing your ears to rehear it and process the information. So, vocalizing
Exactly.
an affirmation with feeling is vastly important in
Right.
doing this. It's not just an exercise of futility of, okay, I'm going to say this.
Right.
You really need to say it. And I've used this when treating addiction because you have
Mm.
to stop. And actually, I will say, I had more success with women than
Mm.
men because men's pride. I'm not going to stand in front of a mirror and do this. I look stupid. No, they don't even want to look stupid on
right.
themselves. So this is important.
Right.
And
And you
I'm
nailed it. You have to feel it. You have to feel the affirmation. And we were talking earlier, you have to also write it down. When you write it down, it becomes your own ownership and you take power and you by doing the writing of it. So when I was writing these affirmations down earlier today, I read it, I felt it, but when I wrote it, it became mine. And I really, really felt the guide inside of me and felt everything that I needed to feel with this affirmation.
so what I'm hearing you say, even if somebody looks an affirmation up online or they use this one, okay, they don't just need to read it. They need to take a moment, write it down on a piece of paper, write it on something. And
Right,
again, that brings words into reality. And it's
right,
forcing you to put your automatic nervous system and different things with it to make this real. So it's not just, we're used to the old, oh, say this. I used
right.
to love the old Saturday Night Live. Stuart Smiley, positive affirmations, because
Right.
people like me. Well, that's easy to make fun of, but actually there's truth in that. But when you start writing it down, because words are power, and we're going to go into
Right.
that in just a minute. I have something really special I want to go into. So you write that down. Then on top of that, what someone can do is literally take that piece of paper. Once they've written it down, they've said the saying several times, and they've put emphasis into it. Now you're putting your energy, your force,
Right.
you're letting, and don't just say it and walk away. Build up an energy force. Oh, now I'm getting the chills.
Mm.
Okay. And you embed that into this thing that you've written, you're writing, and papers, pours, everything receives.
Right.
Okay. Then one of the steps we can do is take that paper, light it on fire, burn it up, and say, I'm sending this to God. I'm sending this to the universe. This will be my path today. And
Right.
you're starting to make it a reality. What do you think
Right.
about that? I mean, and then we'll get into the whole sigil thing later, but this is the
Yeah.
base of a sigil.
It is. That's so true and so powerful. And, even when I'm at my, we all have love and faith and light, but we all can lose our guidance sometimes. And anytime that I'm losing my guidance, I write down affirmations, what I'm feeling, and it just makes it mine. And it's so powerful. I have a friend that always, when I'm in down and out, she always says, write that down. I'll say something positive and she'll say, write it down, make sure you write it down. And I take ownership, and then I go back and reread it. And it's so important. It's just so great. And then when you burn it and you send it to God, and then it becomes yours, and then he can do what he wants with your guidance with it.
Absolutely. And, in helping people understand the power of the spoken word, we really have to comprehend this goes back millennia. Even if you
Right.
think about, there's a reason, and we talk about the dark witchcraft, things like that. A true witch needs no spells. It's all energy, it's all mind.
Right.
But you hear spells, you hear them written, you hear them wrong. You're like, who wrote that? How did they come up with it? Because they took the energy of what they were doing, and by now having to say it and do it, your whole mind, your whole body is now concentrating on what you're putting out there. So instead
Right.
of putting it towards a curse or something dark or something shadowy, put it towards that same energy can be used towards God, towards you finding your way.
Right.
And I think
Right.
that's the importance of an affirmation can be seen as a prayer. And what
Right.
you can do is, but God doesn't want to memorize prayer. He wants you to talk to him. He wants a
Right.
personal relationship. And affirmations are a way to start having an actual personal relationship with God, the universe, your higher power, because don't just speak it directly to them. Because
Right.
God is there to listen.
Right. And with light is information, but you also have to have love. And with the combination of light and love is the perfect balance. And so when you speak from your heart and you have faith and love, it's all you need.
Absolutely. I love the next part of this. I believe that God, the universe, will always make a way when there is no way. I think it's important that we understand, and I did a TikTok short or a TikTok and a YouTube short this morning, kind of went into this. Your dreams, we were put here to flourish. And a lot of times we get in our own way.
Right.
But I think where we have to be careful is we hear so much about manifestation and things like
Mm.
that. So many people are thinking, okay, I'm going to will this into existence and put no action behind it.
Right. Right.
It's
It,
not going to just materialize. But if you're walking your path, I believe that God and the universe will always make a way when you're heading down the right path. And
right.
sometimes we need to understand. I love this, that will make a turn in the road. sometimes they're going to take you down a different path because you're not heading down a healthy path, or there's a detour they're
Exactly.
trying to help you. And it's when we don't wake up and look what's going on, you know, that we
Right.
get in our own way and we become
Right.
befuddled and confused.
Right. We're on this wrong side of the freeway. And in order to get to where we need to go, we need to align to it. So it's going to move us slowly over to the right lane. So then we can be aligned and be authentic to who we are. So then we can really live the life we want. And part of, I think, some of the issues with manifestation, I'm glad you brought that up, is, sometimes you want to like write down the specifics of what you want to manifest, which is wonderful. But sometimes you're stopping the universe being able to bring you what you want because you're trying to manifest that perfect job when maybe you're supposed to be manifesting something else. So I think that's so important. Last night I was doing a manifestation moon water, and I was trying to think of what I wanted to write, and I just decided that I was going to be specific but give God and the universe the opportunity to guide me where he wants me to go and where I should go. And so I want to manifest a perfect life and living my best life. What does that mean? I don't even know if I know that right now. So I'm letting him, you and I were talking yesterday, and I'm trying to manifest this perfect situation, but I didn't realize that the universe is presenting me with a situation to align me to where I want to be. And I was so focused in the wrong direction. I've been counter manifesting what I don't want.
Exactly. And you know what? And you said something very specific. And I like the freeway thing because I used to say all the time, you know, sometimes we get on the wrong side of the road or we take the wrong road. And we literally have to stop and turn around. And you know
Right.
what? Sometimes the bumpiest part of the ride is turning around because you got to pull over in the ditch. You got to back up. You got to drive through some rough stuff to get headed back in the right direction. So sometimes we fight the hard stuff when that's what's going to get us where we need to go.
Exactly. And when you're making that U-turn is when you're probably the most triggered because you're so frustrated. And I actually happen to have an affirmation in front of me that I'm just going to read right now because it reminds me. My friend sent this to me today. Be grateful for triggers. They point you where you are not free.
Okay.
Right. And
Yeah,
sometimes
absolutely.
those triggers are really important because they show you what is wrong and what's going on in your life and the things that you want to change. So you're triggered because it doesn't feel like it's an easy path, but sometimes the easy path is not the right path. And you have to get on to the right path.
So true. And even again in what you said, sometimes we're so busy worrying about manifesting what I want, we forget that the Holy Spirit or God, energy, universe, they're trying to manifest what we need.
Right.
And sometimes we got to get out of I want into I need. There's nothing wrong with wanting. And there's
Right.
nothing wrong with going after that and making that a goal. But when what you want becomes a higher driven or a higher focus than what is right or what is good or is what is going to be wholesome for you, then your goal can become unhealthy. Okay.
Right.
So I think that's
And
very important.
right. And sometimes what you want is the end result, but you have to do some other things that you have to go other paths in order to get there to align. So it's even though you feel like, why did I have to take that step in between? Well, because that's what got you to what you really wanted. And you
Absolutely.
can't enjoy what you really want unless you're aligned authentically to it. So you might get what you want, but not even know how to enjoy it. Like I have some freedom right now on my with myself, and I've been hating it, but I really realize that I should be enjoying this time. Like what an opportunity. So you really should stop worrying about what you're not getting and just focus on letting believe that you're divinely guided and divine timing and really believing that God and the universe will put you on that right path and just believe and have faith and surrender. It's so important to surrender because if you believe, ooh, I'm getting chills. If you believe that, then you really will go the right path. Don't fight it, because you'll just be in the wrong path for a longer amount of time.
Absolutely. And what I did go ahead and pull a card. You know me, I can't leave my cards out.
Yes,
Okay.
right.
And in this conversation, what I got was the 7 of coins. And I believe you and I talked about this last night, which is
Yes,
ironic. Okay. And what this is saying is the reminder that when you're asking God, when you're asking spirit, when you're asking universe to do some things, sometimes you need to just be quiet and listen and let them work.
right,
Once you ask for something, I believe you are getting around to that or saying it. We got to get out of our own way sometimes. Well, I
right,
asked you to do this, but I want to do it this way. And they're like, well, if that's the way you want to do it, go right ahead. But that's not the way I'm going to do it. And then we become frustrated. And sometimes
right,
we become our own worst enemy because we just don't stop and listen and
right.
go, okay, show me the path.
Right. We're fighting the river. We're like in a river and we're fighting it. We're trying to make ourselves go this direction. But if you just let the river take you, you're going to go to this beautiful, beautiful area that you didn't even know you could get to. And all you got to do is just let it flow. But we're fighting it and we're trying to get over the boulder. We're trying to get through the choppy waters. We just have to surrender. And sometimes it's that bird's eye view. Sometimes you're like in the middle of something and you have to take a different perspective to see. And you'll go, oh, wow, if I just surrender right now and I let myself go past this boulder, look at this paradise I'm about to enter. So you're just fighting, and it could take you years to get to paradise when you're just one step away.
Absolutely. Folks,
Yeah.
Lisa, Reverend Rob, we're here to tell you affirmations are powerful. And we're here to tell you you need to be using them, but you need to be using them in the right manner. They're not just chants, they're not just things, they're not little motivational tools. Words are power, but you need to speak them, you need to write them down, and you need to actually release it and start believing. Anything, Lisa, that you want to say before we say goodbye to everybody?
Just, I hope that everyone takes a deep breath today. Let's let go of anything that you can't control and enjoy the beautiful ride.
Well said. As I always say, take what you want, leave what you don't. But leave at least having experienced some peace, love, and light. Many
Bangerang.
blessings. Bangerang. Yes, I wasn't going to do it, but I got a bangerang. All right. Have a good day, everybody.
Take care.